Today on The Best Years, the Alzheimer's Association offers holiday tips for patients and caregivers. Make your holiday feasts and treats healthy and safe. Prevent house fires with help from the Ocean County Fire Marshal. And super simple soups help you warm up this season. All this and more today on The Best Years. From the Ocean County College TV studio, here's Sandy Levine.
Hello and welcome to The Best Years. The holidays are right around the corner, and today will help you make the most of the season. This can be a challenging time of year for patients with dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and equally trying for their caregivers. Here to give us advice on making the holidays easier on everyone are two guests from the Greater New Jersey chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, Laura Holly Deerbach, Vice President of Programs and Services, and Fran Piniella, Associate Director. Welcome to The Best Years.
Thank you for inviting us, Sandy.
Thank you.
So can you just give me a brief overview for people who aren't familiar with dementia and Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. What exactly is the disease?
Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disease of the brain. So it affects not only your memory, thinking, your behavior, and I think what's important for you to know, it's not a normal part of aging.
So what are some of the signs? How do you know when it's normal aging, when it's Alzheimer's?
It's a really good question. We all are forgetful sometimes, but one of the first signs we see is forgetfulness of appointments, of, gee, I had a conversation with you the other day. You'd have no recollection of it. When you're seeing consistency, something is amiss. When you're also getting confused sometimes, gee, did I take my car to get here? Are we going to take the bus? Just moments of confusion to time and place sometimes as well.
And your organization, though, is there to help. How do you help?
Yes, we are there to help. We focus on a couple of things. One, certainly research to find treatments and ultimately a cure for the disease. Secondly, to really focus on enhancing the care and services that people, everyone affected by the disease, receive. And thirdly, to look at promoting brain health.
Now, the holidays can be particularly stressful for the patient and the caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about the holiday season that can make it even more stressful?
Holidays, I think, are stressful for everybody, but I think for the individual with the disease and their family caregiver, people expect so much. You know, traditionally, we've always had this big Thanksgiving dinner, but yet, you know, this year, I don't know, can I entertain the children, the grandchildren, and all the cousins? It's too much. I think some of the things that are important for family caregivers to do is right off the bat to call whoever you normally share the holidays with and say, you know what? I think I need to do something different this year. And I think being fluid and flexible is really important, that maybe instead of me doing all the cooking, why don't you bring all the food this year? That'll make it more comfortable for us. Or instead of having a dinner, how about we have a brunch? Often the individual with Alzheimer's disease, by the end of the day, they're tired, they might be anxious, they might be having more difficulty with behaviors, so it'll be more comfortable having something earlier in the day.
So keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple.
Adjusting expectations.
Absolutely. Very important for families.
And Fran, there are so many programs and services available through your organization. What's the best way for people to get started, to get information and help?
Well, that's a wonderful question. And as I'm out in the community and I do run into individuals with Alzheimer's disease and their caregiving families, I often tell them the same answer to the question you just gave me, our helpline number. We have staff available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to be there on the other end of the phone, to provide resources, just to maybe be someone just to listen, to provide tips, ways of finding the supportive services that are available to them.
So let's get specific. For the patient, for instance, what can your organization do to help patients?
One of the things, and again, it would probably start through helpline, is to provide resources. Possibly someone might call and their question might be, you know, I was just diagnosed, now what? What is my next step? And there are counselors can either sit with them through the phone or even sometimes provide care consultation individually and help them make a plan and find the types of resources that are going to be most important to them to get through the time that they have in front of them.
And the caregivers, respite is so important for caregivers of all types, but especially with Alzheimer's, and especially around the holidays. So what can your organization do to help with caregivers?
Well, absolutely, and respite is really a huge thing, and respite really is a timeout, and especially focused during the holidays when it is so overwhelming. Our counselors, again, might be able to help that person through our respite care assistance program. Number one, identify the resources available to them for respite, be it adult daycare, maybe bringing some help in the home a few hours a day, or if, say, there was a family function out of town and this individual was unable to take their loved one that has the Alzheimer's disease, maybe an overnight stay. But we would be able to counsel them on how to do it, plus provide some financial assistance, which is available.
And how about support groups for caregivers?
Support groups. Support is a huge part of the equation, I think. A support group for some people, and not for all, is a way for someone to share with other individuals going through the same sorts of challenges. And sometimes just being able to talk to someone who's in the same boat as you is just it gives you a good feeling. It makes it a little bit easier to overcome that next obstacle.
And Laura, once more, for families around the holidays, what would be the top 2 or 3 tips you'd give them for help around this time of year with Alzheimer's patients?
Talk to your families and friends ahead of time. Let them know what's going on with the person with Alzheimer's disease, that maybe they're having trouble remembering names right now. Maybe their behavior is going to be a little different. Send a picture. This is what's going on right now. This is what I need from you for the holidays. Certainly the holidays can still be enjoyed. Gift giving is still very important. Talking about things that may be beneficial as gifts for the holidays this year, a CD of old favorite songs. Music is always wonderful. If somebody is in more an advanced disease, maybe instead of the traditional clothes with zippers and buttons, that a pair of sweatpants would be a great gift.
But adjusting expectations, and also, isn't it important not to remind the patient, don't you remember, don't you remember? Isn't it a point where you have to get away from that?
That is very critical. And to remember that although they might not be able to express themselves, they still have feelings and can understand and enjoy the warmth that you're sharing with them.
Laura Holly Dierbach, Fran Piniella, thank you so much for coming on The Best Years today and giving us this important information. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, if you'd like to learn more, visit the Alzheimer's Association website at alz.org/NJ or call the helpline at 1-800-272-3900.